Les Couloirs du temps, Les Visiteurs II, French pronunciation, Le vizitœːʁ, English, The Visitors II, The Corridors of Time, is a sequel to the original French film, Les Visiteurs. Les Visiteurs II was the second highest grossing French film at the French box office for 1998. At his wedding, Godefroy de Montmoreil is interrupted by the news that his bride's father, Duke Fulbert, is greatly ill. Consulting the wizard Eusebius, Godefroy finds out that the corridors of time are somehow being held open and this is killing his future father-in-law. Godefroy is determined to find how this has happened and who is responsible. Back in present day, Jacques Rouille and Jeannette rob a supermarket and drive to Beatrice for work. Jean-Pierre, the dentist who is married to Beatrice, has many patients who Jacques will scares away, so Beatrice decides to let him watch TV. He believes it is a work of Satan and destroys it and sets the house on fire. In the meantime, Jacques is being tortured by the Inquisition by water cure. The Inquisition shoves a funnel in his mouth and turns on a water pipe. Jacques' belly begins rapidly growing to the point where his belly button pops out. He admits that Godefroy burned his Range Rover, a reference to the first film, but the Inquisition believes that it was a person, Range Robert, and they are about to torture Jacques further when Godefroy intervenes. In the future, Beatrice gives Jacques and Jeannette the potion, and Jean-Pierre accidentally drinks one glass. She says the spell, and Jean-Pierre and Jacques will fall into the year 1123. Montmoreil is being invaded, and he and Jacques will fight the invaders. Godefroy is riding by, and he saves Jacques, but he sees that Jacques is wearing a huge ruby ring. Realizing that Jacques stole the Duke's treasure and that the remaining items are in the future keeping the corridors of time open, they return, along with Jean-Pierre and Jacques. Jean-Pierre ends up in the forest, the others under the castle. They escape and terrorize the hotel, except for Jacques who is urinating everywhere due to the water torture he underwent. Jacques and Godefroy go to Jeannette, who tried to turn in the rubies for money, and instead was beaten up. Cousin Hubert's ex-wife, Cora, has the jewels, she tells them. They go to Cora's house, and take the jewels. In the morning, they go to Montmoreil where a wedding is taking place. They create havoc at the wedding by pouring ice cream into a woman's cleavage and using a plunger to destroy the police chief's hat. They take the potion and say the spell, however, the potion has again been made wrongly, and they end up in 18th century France, during the French Revolution. Jacques sees his descendant, Jacqueline, as an advisor to Napoleon Bonaparte, and screams to him as they are arrested as aristocrats. Christian Clavier, Jacques La Fripouille / Jacques Henry Jacquard / Prosper, Jacques' brother / Jacqueline. Jean Reno, Godefroy de Papencourt, Count of Montmoreil. Muriel Robin, Frenegon de Puy / Beatrice de Montmoreil. Christian Beaujeu, Jean-Pierre Goulard, Beatrice's husband. Marie Chazel, Jeannette the Bum. Claire Nadeau, Cora, wife of Hubert. Jean-Paul Mouille, Marichal de Logis Gibbon. Sylvie Joly, Giselle. Ariel Semenov, Jacqueline. Michelle Garcia, Mrs. Frangian. Armel, Petronille. Elizabeth Margoni, Madame Lomo Pericard. Philippe Nayon, supermarket's owner. The film was released to generally poor reception. Some factors contributing to the disappointment of the French audience include the fact that some of the actors had been changed and that the film contained advertisements for various brands. Despite this, it set an opening day record in France, grossing over $2.5 million from 550 screens. It sold more than 8 million tickets in France, being the second highest grossing French film at the French box office for 1998 behind Le Dîner de Cons.